Okay, guys, let me get all the messages set out here and get everything up and running. Okay, guys, let me get making sure we got everybody in here that wants to be in here. Okay, we just got a couple more of these to put out. And then we'll get started right on it, guys. Just gonna make sure everybody knows that we're going live. Okay, what do we got? What do we got? Okay, let's see who we all got in here. Okay, so guys, like always, if you have any tickers or any questions, just put them up in chat and we'll go from there. Okay, with that being said, we'll just go ahead and get into it, and I'll check back with Chad every so often, and we'll see what we have there, okay? So, let's start off with, the overall market. What plays are we looking for? What are we looking for the week coming? Let's look at swing trades and any rally plays, things like that. Give me 1 second. Okay, so first one we want to look at is the overall market, the SPY. What are we looking for in that next week? Because, the overall market can determine what the week could start out like, and we can also make money playing the overall market. I did Friday, made my best play Friday was SPXL. Guys, I also just made a video dealing with ETFs, how to play them, all that good stuff. And if you're interested in playing the market or any ETFs, it's a good video to check out. It kind of tells you what is an ETF and which ones are my favorite ones to play. Okay, so this is the ETF of the S&P 500. Excuse me. And we can see that it's been beat down here, and we're actually getting higher lows. So even if we're not playing it to go back up to the higher highs, there's still ways of playing this on these bounces and these spikes, which I think will remain bullish going into tomorrow. But really, we won't know until we start seeing what the pre-market looks like. So if we get into it, the one that I'm going to be watching tomorrow is the same one I watched Friday, because I've already got a couple of call options in it. And that is SPXL. That is not it. Oh no, I have to get me a new keyboard. This thing's starting to SPXL. Here we go. Now this is a 3-time leverage bull of the ETF, of the S&P ETF. Let's go to the 15-minute here. So I'm expecting it to do pretty much the same thing. It might start off a little bit volatile. You don't want to buy during that volatile when it pushes up and pushes down, pushes up and pushes down. That will destroy the Greeks on your option trades, and you won't make no money whether it goes up or down either way. So if it does start doing that, just wait 10 or 15 minutes, I do that with most trades anyway. See what it's going to do, but I'm hoping it stays above this 200 and we see it either just barely come below it and bounce off this 50-day or stay above it and bounce and keep going on. But we might see a little bit of a sell-off before it tags up, just like we have here, in the last few days right at the market. We see a little bit of a sell-off and then a bounce, even whenever it's been bearish. So that's one I'm going to be looking at, the SPXL. Let me write that down too. Now, if it does go bearish again, and you still want to play it, you can play SPXS. This is the inverse of it. This is what you want to play if the market continues on down. You can buy call options on this or shares, and it goes up when the overall market goes down, right? So let me see. We got ADK Northern. What's happening, man? Let's see. Okay, let me write them down and we'll go over them too right here in a second. Zoom. Yeah, we was talking about Zoom the other day. I like MTX Prague. Yep. Okay, yeah. Yeah, man, the volume on Farmy is just out of sight, man. That shit is crazy. Other day it was well over 1 billion. Prague, I think I sold out of my Prague. Let's go ahead and take a look at it real quick. But the way it's looking, I may buy back in. So Friday I sold out during one of these spikes here when it went under the 15-day. I was already up. I'd bought it a day or two beforehand. I can't remember when I exactly bought it, but I remember being up like crazy on it. So I went ahead and sold out. But with it holding this 100 EMA line or MA line here, we might see it take off. You might see just a little bit of a drop in the morning. It might even come down to the 200 before it bounces. But this one may stay bullish. We'll just have to wait and see what the pre-market looks on it. Zoom, however you want to say it, Zominica. Yeah, see, this is the same thing here. It spikes up, and you usually see this with some of these stocks. You'll see it spike up in the pre-market, it sell off for a day or so, and then you'll see it bounce and spike again. And as long as it stays above that 200, that's good. Even if it drops below it, if it quickly bounces back, that's a good sign too. You know, that's the same thing as a fake out breakout, just on the bear side of it. You know, so yeah, that's looking good for tomorrow too. METX. Yeah, see, this one's under the 200. That's what I was talking about there the other day. We played this a little bit on this bounce here. I think we didn't buy Thursday. I think we bought Friday. And made a little bit. I didn't make a great deal of money. I just day traded it. But what I was saying Friday with it is, as long as it can get up over this 200 in the morning, you could see it turn bullish real quick. And this is on the 15-minute chart if you're looking. And let me turn off my MA lines, because for most stocks they're not important. So yeah, I'd like to see it get up over that 200, and then we get this cross of the 15 over the 50 day there. Let me go over a couple of low dollar stocks I have here, and then we'll get into some bigger swing plays I've been looking at too. One real quick I want to go over, guys, is Bank of America. Now Friday it was real bullish, right? There was so many block trades and sweeps on them, that I thought for sure this thing was going to weather any storm that could come up against it, until right near the end of the day, somewhere Friday evening up until Saturday, it just kept getting hit with people saying that Bank of America is out of money, they can't access their accounts. There's all kinds of shit. And at this point, it don't matter if it's true or not. Every bit of that could be false or a misunderstanding. It doesn't matter. That news is out there, and it's going to hurt. So the thing to do this one is in the morning, the pre-market, between about 8 and before the bell rings at 9:30. Watch this one. If you see this go under the 200, especially if you see it go under the 200, try to retake it and get rejected. Puts on this one be the one to play. So this is going to be one to watch. You can see here too that for the last few days you've been seeing selling right at the end of the day. And all but these 2 days right here, you've seen it pick up, but then it just sells right back off again. And a lot of selling at the end of the day. So even though it picked up right here, I look for it to at least sell up in the morning. And even if it does recover, you could probably see a situation like it did here, how it sold off before it picked back up. But I look for this one to go kind of bearish tomorrow. So this may be a good one to play puts on. Here's one that I spotted in my search. ENG. We can see it's up like crazy in the aftermarket. It'll probably stay this way in the pre-market. I wouldn't look for it to drop. I mean, by then, the 50 days should be right around this 3.1-ish area. I wouldn't look for it to drop any further than that. But as long as it stays above the 200, I look for this one to continue to be bullish. I mean, we have it over the 200. We have the 15 and the 50 cross with good volume. I mean, the MACD is still bullish. I mean, it could turn bearish right here. We'll just have to give it time and see. But overall, it's still bullish. It just looks good. I mean, it would actually look even better if it did come on down to the 50-day and bounce. Because then we'd have that 50% sell-off and bounce, that fib sell-off. So this one is a great one to watch. Another one is BitF. So Bitcoin or crypto in general has been kind of having a little bit of a resurgence last couple of days, I guess you'd call it. So this one right here, we can see it jumped up here in the pre-market. It stayed bullish, and I look for, unless some bad news comes along or something like that, I look for it to continue on, and it probably will even continue on staying above this 15. But worst case scenario, it might come down and touch this 50 and bounce. But I look for this one to stay bullish. Okay. Let me see while I'm marking those off, see if y'all have anything else. Yes, we'll go over CEI too. Hey Matt, hey Zach. We already said hi to Northern. Guys, I'm glad y'all joined us. We'll go over those tickers. If you have anything else or any questions, just let me know. I've got a little bit of a mixed bag here for us. I've got some low dollar rally plays. I've got some low dollar swing plays. I've got some mid-dollar swing plays, between 20 to 60 bucks, stuff like that. So I think we got some really good plays to look at going into the week. I don't have a full watch list yet. I'm still going over a few things, but I do believe we have enough here to play on to go until I can get that watch list ready. It might be in the morning before it fully comes out. Well, Bub, yeah, Zach, any questions you got, man, you just let me know, and we'll definitely hit on them. So, yeah, BitF is one to look at, and since we're on the Bitcoin train here, or the crypto train, let's look at Hunt. Now, I know Hunt, MAR, BT, VT, all those seem to kind of trade, but Hunt is looking the best right now out of those trades, as far as maybe taking a rally tomorrow or something. And we can see since Thursday, we have, I won't call it a cross, I mean it did cross down here, I guess you could say, but it spiked up right here. That's that separation, that spike, cross, whatever you want to call it, that I really look for. We have decent volume, and it's trading above the 200. So ever since then, it's stayed bullish. And again, just like the other ones we said, I look for it to stay around this 15. There's a possible chance that it could come down to the 50, but overall, as long as it stays above the 200, I look for it to be bullish. Now this one, even though I say it could rally tomorrow, I think this one would be better off as a swing trade, and that means holding it for a little while. And you know, you can see here maybe even call options would be better to play this one, because you can see that even if it returns here, it's not much play, but that's good to double your money on call options. You know what I'm saying? If we look at, if you're just buying shares, to that one, it's 21%, so that's not bad neither, I guess, but 21% is actually pretty decent. But you can see even the 4 hours looking good. It's staying above the 200, it's staying bullish. So this would make a good swing trade. And what makes it even better is it just sold off and bounced. You know, this is the plays you want to look for. You want to look for plays that has stayed. I just messed that one up. Plays that has stayed bullish, has a sell-off, and bounces above that 200 or at the 200. Guys, that's gravy all day long right there. I mean, until it falls under that 200, swing it. I mean, swing it till you get about 15 or 20%. Take your money and run, son. Let's see, you want to look at CEI. Now, CEI, full disclosure, I'm sold out of all my CEI. I don't own no more of it. For me, I was in it since about 70 cents. And there was more downside than upside to me, because I looked for it to only go to about $5 or $6, and at that point I was only looking at anywhere from 15% to about 50% more when I'm already up almost 500%. So why risk even to the nearest support? It was, or good support I should say, it's like 128%. So why risk 15? Or why risk 128% to only gain 15 to 50%? But the question is can it stay bullish? What about the people that bought in around $2 or $3 or even $4? Can they get their money back? Will it stay bullish? Can they get more money back? That's the question, right? Okay. Bad news is it's trading under the 200, and it's been rejected, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times under that 200. That is not good news. So what I would look for on this one, on the 15-minute chart, is coming into Monday, within the first hour or two of Monday, can it pop back up over that 200? If it can, this could be a good continuation play, good to hold on to. If not, if it was me, I would look at it doing one of two things, either selling my position or lowering my position. Now remember, you don't have to sell and trade, or you don't have to sell and buy all at one time. You can buy in batches and you can sell in batches. So usually what I'll do, if I'm still bullish on a stock but it goes under the 200, I'll lower my position. That way if it catches a bounce, I can buy back in cheaper, and I've still got a position in it lower. Does that make sense? I can lower my position in it but still have a position in it, catch the bounce, and get back in it and go. And it's just a way of, if it does continue to sell off, you're not out more money than what you would be if you just held your full position. But if it bounces and continues on, you can quickly get back in it and continue on the bullish run. What else we got here? Oh yeah, here's one that I found a few minutes ago. Well, we talked about it last week, but looking at it, I didn't notice this in the aftermarket. This is LAUR. Guys, again, it's up over the 200. We have the 15 over 50 day spike. Plus, on the 15 minute, now this is always better on the 4 hour, but on the 15 minute, we have that golden cross. Now, we talked about that before. The golden cross is when the 50-day EMA line crosses up over that 200. And guys, that's a bullish signal to any technical traders, any charting traders. And that's probably the reason why we've seen this spike up in the after hours. Because, you know, we had the cross, we see that it catches it's probably close to about a 50% sell-off. Let's see. Yeah, see right here at the 50% sell-off and bounce. So I mean, there's several things here saying that this is going to be a good trade going into Monday. Now, what I'll do, guys, is on my watch list that I put out there, I don't expect every one of them to run. That's not the point of a watch list. So what I'll do here, let's go to watch list. I'll set me a date near the beginning of the week. Excuse me one second, let me call. Excuse me, sorry about that. So I'll set me a watch list, and I put it a date pretty close by. So no, it's not September no more. October, let's say 4th, since it starts tomorrow. And what I'll do is each week that I have me a watch list, or if somebody gives me one, I'll put it in here, and that way it stays in that watch list for the remainder of the week. Plus I have last week's, I can go back and look if I want to see if anything's picked up since then too. So any of the stocks that we talked about here tonight, I'll put in this watch list. Now the watch list I put out are mostly rally stocks. They're good for day trading and probably small swing trading. I will try to throw in some longer swing trades in there from time to time, but that's what they're mostly good for. And they're meant to give you several stocks to watch, especially the pre-market to the first hour or two, and see what they do. And that way you can watch those several stocks, pick you one or two of them out of there that you like to play, and play those stocks. That's what my watch lists are meant to be for. It's not meant for every one of those to run. If you want better picks, then I'll put them either out on Twitter, or I'll make a separate video if I have time to on those. Those are the ones that I think have a chance on their own, that's not just bunched in with a bunch of other stocks. And that's what I have here today too for us to look at, is a bunch of trades like that. So let's see. Yeah, let's look at ATER. We'll go over BBIG too. Could ATR and BBI? Well, maybe, but ATR and BBIG. When I called out BBIG right before the spike, let's go ahead and take a look at it here. When I called this out, a couple of weeks ago. Let's go here. So when I called this out, it was somewhere right in through here. And everybody was asking me then, what could this play? And at the time I said, well, it's a rally stock that could turn into a squeeze play. And at that time we was looking at BBIG, ATR, and Root. All three of those got called out at the same time around this same day right here. And let's take a look at it. This is around 8:24. So ATER. Right there is around 8:24 on that. And then if we look at Root, 8:24 right there. So the rally we got on all three of them. Root, I mean, it may come back later on, but for right now it's dead. So that's not even in question. ATER, I know this is getting a lot more, or was at least getting talked about a lot more on YouTube and Twitter and things like that. And I do know I'm still, I've actually played each one of these spikes. I played them, sold off, played them, sold off, and I had bought back in until it went under the 200, or I had a trend line going through here. When it went under that, I lowered my position, so I'm really only holding about 20% of what I originally was in this stock. To me, it looks like it still could do good. I don't think there's no problem in playing them both. But I guess because it went under that trend line, see, this was kind of setting up like support was. But support held its trend line and then took off. This one, it really needs to pick up. We are sitting on this about 10, what is that? About 1086 to 1016 support right here. If it bounces here, this could still look good, and it still could be a squeeze play. But I think what's happened here is more people was looking, even though BBIG kind of got called out around the same time, and maybe even was bigger in the beginning. ATR was kind of the one that everybody was looking at. And then BBIG, you have the merger thing, you have them coming out with their own stock that they're using like as a divvy for it. You have all this stuff. So I think it's kind of been the other way around. I think BBIG has kind of stole the thunder of ATER. I'm in a couple of different Discords. I watch a lot of stuff. And I've been noticing this one's getting picked up more. And I think a lot of that has to do is because it keeps holding this support. I mean, it's boom right there. Boom, 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 boom. Just all the way down, it keeps holding that support. Which means that people are holding this as a squeeze play. They are waiting for that big breakout. Now, where's the breakout going to come? At least above this 1140. Don't look for it to squeeze until we get at least above that. And you're probably not going to squeeze until you get about 15. But you might see rallies like you have here, there. All these are little rallies. And you might have even seen some cover in there, but they wasn't full squeezes. So that's what we're looking at for BBIG. We want to see it rally. We want to see FOMO buyers. We want to see big money coming in. And to the point to where the shorts are just scared shitless and they say, you know what, it's no longer a sound investment, I'm out. And then that's when we get paid on this one. And the same thing with this one. As of right now, I'm still holding a sizable position in this one, but if it ends up dropping too low, I will lower my position into this until it goes back up. That's just the way I play these stocks. I'm not going to hold something all the way to the ground. It needs to show me that it's doing something. And as of right now, it's holding support, so I'm going to keep my position in it. I don't think I'll fully sell out until it gets real low. I've already made a little bit of money on it, so I'm not worried too much about losing much more money or anything like that. So I'm good on this one, so I'm going to hold it. What are we looking at? Oh yeah, Sophie's getting some pull up now too. Sophie. Guys, the play on this one is when I called this one out, it was doing this bouncing around here. I know some other YouTubers were talking about it around here, but then we had this big sell off. I wasn't excited about it because it was trading under 200. When I seen these higher lows and I seen it bouncing up this trend line, that's when I started getting bullish. So whenever I seen it come back, bounce off that trend line, I bought in. So I ended up selling off whenever it broke back down below 50-day on the 15, right around up here somewhere. So now it's crossed back down, it's back over the 200, and I'm bullish on it again. And it's looking pretty good. Yeah, you can see right here, we've got the 15 over 50 cross, it's up over the 200, and we're getting ready to have a golden cross. So Sophie is going to make a pretty decent swing trade, and check this out. Oh, come on, you bastard. There we go. If we go back to recent highs from where we are right now, let's say we go back to right there, that's 43% return just back to there, guys. I mean, that's good money no matter how you look at it. So, I mean, that's 43% return. If you can get that on any stock, you better take it. Let me see what we're looking at here on comments. Well, I mean, if you're looking at, I guess, FUD is what it is, man. I mean, it's fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And it's whatever, I mean, there can be factual things said that are FUD to you because it creates that fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And at this point, does it matter? I mean, I'm not going to say either way which one I think's better because I'm in them both. But would it matter if ATER is better trade? No, it wouldn't, because that's what the play you're in, and that's the community there is strong. That's like saying which one's better, AMC or GME, right? You're not going to say, well, oh shit, I've been in AMC for since February, and now GME's looking better. I better pack up my shit and go over here to AMC, right? No, you don't do that. They're both good plays. They're both sound plays as of right now. In my opinion, I'm not going to say which one's better overall, but right now BBIG is looking like it's holding its support a little bit better. So, in the long run, only time will tell which one's better overall. ATER has hit higher highs more consistently until this last little sell-off, but BBIG is holding support better. ATR did have more eyes on it until here recently. Now BBIG is getting up there. So really, you might as well argue which one's better, AMC or GME. I mean, if you ask the person who's in AMC, they're going to say AMC. If you ask the person in GME, they're going to say GME. If you ask me, I'm in, or had been in both, not in now, I'm going to say they're both good plays. You know what I mean? So, FUD is only what creates that in you. So if you're ever experiencing fear, uncertainty, and doubt, sit back. I mean, when you got into this play, you got into it for your reasons. It either looked good, you liked what somebody was saying about it, or whatever the case may be. So look back at those things. Does this still make sense? Is the play still sound in your mind? Have you seen anything that might suggest that it's no longer a good play? And we're not just talking about people's opinions. We're talking about the charts, the information, the facts out there. Not opinions, facts. Has there been anything that you have seen that suggests that this is no longer the play for you? If you have, get out. By all means, don't stay in something that you're not certain of, or at least are willing to take the risks that are there. Because let's face it, no matter what stock you get into, there's going to be risk, right? So just know your risk, know your play, and trade your play and play your trade. Got it? That's all you got to remember. Just every time you experience that, just run through your checklist. What are we looking at? Now, on these type of plays like BBIG and ATR and all that, I never invest all my money. Like, I never YOLO. I did with AMC in the beginning, but I don't. I try to spread my trades out there. I try not to spread myself thin just on one trade. So let me run down real quick some of these swing trades I got for us here, and then if anybody else has any other plays to look at, we can look at those. If not, then we'll call it a day. So two that I've been looking at have been in the travel section. So we have Carnival. If you look at Carnival, it's held this trend line. They even broke out once, and we're continuing to get higher highs and higher lows. So this one is looking good for a swing trade. Again, we have the price over the 200. We have the golden cross, and we have the 15 crossed over the 50 with a bounce, and it looks good. So this one is looking good for a swing trade. So I'm going to kind of like bounce real quick through a couple of these, tell you what I like about them, and then we're going to move on because there's quite a few of these. But this is Carnival Cruise Line, CCL. The other one is an airlines, and it's American, AAL. Again, we have the three parts of a reversal. We have the sell-off, the consolidation, and the bounce. And we're in that bounce phase now. It crossed up over the 200, come back, retested it, and bounced. Now, we have all these green candles here. So look for it to come back and test this 50-day or 200 and bounce again. If we're looking at the 4-hour, look for it to come back down to around the 15 or the 50-day and bounce, or even a support around the 21 and bounce. That would be a perfect time to buy into this one. Disney is another one. Disney's looking pretty good right now. It don't offer shitloads of return, but if we look at it here from there to there, that is a 6% return, and possibly, what is that, 204. And if it returns to recent highs, that's a 15% return. So if you're playing it on this smaller bounce, it'd be better to play options. But if you want to go a little bit longer on it and hold, it looks like Disney is set to return. We have the double bottom, we have the bounce. It's all looking good. As long as it can break above this 200 and stay above it, there's no reason to think that it can't continue unless it gets some bad news. But for me, if I play this one right now, it will be options. Side play. Side play is one that I'm looking at puts on if it does something here. Let me show you. SCPL, side play. Now right here it looks pretty bullish, right? You might be thinking, well, why would he want to buy puts on this? Well, there's a couple of different reasons. For one, it's been bullish since about August 6th, so about a month. Two, if we pull out, it's about to hit resistance. It's all-time resistance line right here. So what I'm looking for is if it gets rejected anywhere between 21.56 and 22.35. If it gets rejected there and starts coming down, especially on the 15-minute, if I see it start breaking this 200, I'm going to start buying puts on this one. I just believe it'll come back down. I think overall it'll stay bullish, but I think it's going to pull back more than enough to make plenty of money on puts. Just like we did with Palantir, the way that one looked. I mean, guys, while that thing was running up, we made money like 3 or 4 times on that thing just on the pullbacks, buying puts. What's another one here? What are we looking at? We mentioned Bank of America. We mentioned HUD. Here's one that we was talking about earlier, and I think it looks good for a swing play. We can see that overall it's been bullish for a while. We had to sell off, but it found its support around this 200 EMA line and also around the 2038 support, and it's bounced. And we're about ready to get the cross here, the 15 over 50 cross on the 4-hour. If we look at the 15-minute, look, perfect bounce. That's probably a 50% bounce too. And it's staying bullish. As long as this one stays above that 50-day, and especially the 200 going into tomorrow, then I'll probably end up buying some calls on this one. Or, you could play shares too. What else we looking at? ENDP. All right, this is another one. You see, we got the golden cross, we got the 15 over 50 cross, and it's over the 200. So again, we're just looking for it to stay above that 50, especially the 200 in the morning. See if we can get that bounce and ride it. Now that's ENDP. That's going to be a rally stock. I'm not looking for too much more than this. Then, as soon as I get my, on this one, I'm probably looking at about 20 to 40%. As soon as I get that, I'm out. CLSK. Clear Spark. Another one. Again, we have the Golden Cross. We have the 15 over 50, and we have it trading over the 200. So all that combined, as long as it can stay up in the morning, that'd be another one to look at. Guys, all these are stocks that we wouldn't normally have on normal trading days, but we're getting so many at one time right now because the market was red for so long, and the point it did pick up, it just sold right back off. So this is all these reasons too is the reason why I think that the overall market, the S&P 500, the SPY, will go bullish again tomorrow. And that is the main reason why tomorrow in the morning, the pre-market, I'm going to be looking at calls on the SPXL. This is a 3-time leverage of the S&P 500, the SPY. Now Friday was my biggest money maker. I did great on it, and I'm hoping that coming into tomorrow, it'll run again, and we can see it at least testing the 200 again. If it did that, I mean, you're talking about if you bought a call from here to here, you're looking at a couple $100 maybe. I mean, that's a $5-6 jump. That's pretty good, especially if you bought a couple of them. You know, we got the MACD bullish on it. The only thing that can make it more bullish is it being over the center line. So let me see if y'all have anything else for me to look at. Yeah, remember these stocks that I'm talking about here, these swing plays. I'm not talking about going long on them. They are good for swing plays right now. With the market probably coming up on a really big correction, almost something that'll look similar to like a small crash. I'm not really keen on holding too many things long right now. So I'm looking at short swing plays, probably a month at the longest, things like that. So like the airlines and the cruise and carnival and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm looking at maybe a couple of weeks tops on those. Just like I said, just enough to get my 20-25% out of them, and I'm good. Maybe like you said, once things cool off, things like that, we can look at maybe holding stocks like that longer. But for right now, just the shorter swing plays is all that I personally feel comfortable in looking at. Now, one more I want to show you right here before we take off is Roku. I know y'all like, well, damn, that's $300 a share. For one, even if you can only buy one share, the way this thing moves is quick and fast. So in less than a month's time, just off of one share, you could be up over $100. So for a $300 investment, you could have over $100 in on it. Now, with that being said, if we're talking about call options, for a $100 investment on a call option on this, way out of the money, it doesn't even have to be near the money. The nearest one that's $100 that I looked at, which is not close, let me see. I looked at the 15th. So it would be right around this 360. And it seems like we're far off at 360. Like, well, you know, I don't want to hold forever. No. This only has to move $10 in order for you to make almost $200 on that call option. Right? Well, sorry, you'd be up 200%, so, you know, whatever. So, I mean, that's awesome, man. I mean, for a $100 investment, you could double your money. I mean, to me, that's awesome. That's making $200. But it's one to watch out for. This is a 4-hour. Watch the 15-minute on it. See if it continues over this 200, stays bullish, just like we talked with others. Make sure that this is not a fake out breakout. And watch the 4 after, if it does and you get in it, watch around this 200 here. When it starts getting close to it, look and see if it gets rejected. If it does, take your money and run. If it continues to stay bullish, stay in it. See what it can take you. But even to there, you're looking at a couple $100 on call options. And if you buy just one share, you're looking $29-30 for what, 2-3 days hold. To me, that's not bad. So it's whatever. I mean, those are some plays that I had. I'll try to come up with a watch list for tomorrow too and have it out in the morning. So guys, if you appreciate what I'm doing, hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll catch you tomorrow, okay? See you then. Bye.